Western Conference champions. That's what's up.
Gotta have dude.
Exactly. What is up, everybody? Jacob Walters here, Jacob's Realm. Today, I have a special guest. He is a comedian and a season ticket member.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve McInelly is on the show with us today. And he is the host of the comedy show that happens at Big Dogs Brewing Company every third Saturday. Yeah, I always go to his comedy shows. It's always a good time. Everybody has a blast. The comedians are top notch and top tier. So if you ever get a chance to go, please do.
I like how you said riveting. That's riveting. Now Rosie the Riveter. So
we can do it.
There you go. Nice. So you just actually sound like I'm typing into Chat GPT and you just say it right back to me. Then you're like, this is the word you should there.
So, I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of the age we live in. I mean, I would prefer Claude, but
yeah. Oh, I just think it's funny because a lot of like my emails and stuff that I write or text, the notice that I'm usually fairly well spoken when I settle down and say it. I mean, and we're in person and we're joking. I'm gonna use the F word and stuff like that and have fun, but on emails, business wise, normally I write very eloquently anyway, but man, I start throwing even what I write in a Chat GPT. I'm like, man, that sounds even better than what I should have said. I'm like, damn.
And the funny thing is I do the exact same thing too with mine. It's like sometimes if I don't think of questions, how can I make this sound formal? How can I make this sound attractive? How can I persuade them? So it's same thing. Oh, easily. And I can't remember everything, and sometimes I screw up because hey, I'm not perfect. So
well, you gotta be careful though. Some people get so mad at everything AI now. Oh my god, AI is killing it. And it's I know, everything's killing us, dude. Cancer. Cancer, no water, no anything. I mean, come on, man. We're all gonna die. It's just, the sooner you learn to accept it, then you just understand it's life.
As I've grown older, I've kind of come to that realization too, that like, hey, I'm gonna die eventually. What's even the point? So
for sure. Yeah, shit. My point is to enjoy it while I'm here. You know what I mean? I'd rather be happy and have fun than, a lot of people get so bent out and twisted up about things they can't do anything about. But man, sometimes you got to step back and go, I could get my echo chamber and scream and holler at things I cannot do anything about. And at the end of the day, you really can't, So we're all the worker bees, dude. That's it. We're worker bees. We entertain ourselves and keep going while the rulers of the world get what they need and want. And here we are. A lot of people start getting along better. You don't have to accept it. It's still going to happen. It is what it is. I used to be so heated, man. I would go after people and argue with them over whatever political side they lean, which direction. But now if someone starts doing it, I just tune them out. Whatever, dude. Go have fun. I'm not going to argue and yell at my friends and people online. It's not for me. That's not why I'm on social media or going to games. I'm there to enjoy,
I don't like talking about politics on my writings and stuff. It's like, it's so divisive for people. And it's like, you do what you want to do. You live your life as you want to live it. And hey, have fun.
Oh, for sure. The only thing I always tell people, and they're like, well, do you vote? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I voted in every election since I turned 18. Do you need to know how I vote? Not really. It's not that big to me. It's, am I happy with every election? Not really. But you know what? I still have to go to work the next day. I don't have a choice. So I was not born into wealth. I don't have to work tomorrow.
Exactly. But if you haven't heard today, the big Battle Worn Authentics equipment sale is today. It's a whole hodgepodge of stuff where you can shop online. You can go in City National Arena. Lovely venue, by the way. If you ever get a chance to go, definitely do it for a Golden Knights practice. I always love going. You got some stuff too.
Brett Howden's gloves.
So Brett Howden, let's go.
We got those for a reason because my wife got his stick midway through last year. And so that was the whole thing. If you can see behind me, I've got Jonathan Marchessault's stick with the gloves. So those are Marchessault's gloves and stick, and it's an autographed one. So now I've got to get Howden's stick autographed. But we got him for that reason. So if you can see exactly what it looks like, it's coming out of the wall holding the stick like he's ready to skate down the ice. Like Marshall's hands just came through a wall. You know what I mean? So now I got to do it with Howden. So that was our whole reason to go. And I have a Petro stick, but unfortunately no Petro gloves today. So I couldn't do that. But for my seat neighbor, he wanted McNabb's gloves. So I got some Nabber. There you go. Bro.
That's the most underrated thing I've seen right there is like Nabber's gloves. The people's bro has his gloves.
For sure. So it was our former seat neighbor. They ended up giving up their tickets this season coming up because for the last 5 years or so, we've all sat by each other. And he had 4 seats next to us, and then they've all gotten older. A couple of them work. They're out of high school. The other one's starting to get close to high school now, and they're just, teenagers and older kids are starting to hang out with dad too much anymore and go to games. So, he gave up his seats, unfortunately. But yeah, we got to know him. So he texted me today, can you find me this or that? So I found him Nabber's gloves. So, we got that.
It's always a good pickup. I mean, during the playoff run, I got a Mitch Marner jersey because I can't just be wearing my William Karlsson jersey, and my Marc-Andre Fleury jersey has unfortunately seen better days. And that was the first one that I got for the Golden Knights. It's like, I love this one so much. 10 years later,
the very first jerseys my wife and I bought, from season 1, I bought the white away Marc-Andre Fleury jersey, and she had the gray home one, the gray steel. And neither one of us have actually wore them since he's not on the team anymore. We try to wear current players all the time. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be a legend in Vegas. He was overall, he was a good dude, but we just try to wear current players, but not always anymore now, because I've got a Nolan Patrick jersey now, so I'll wear it. I've got Alexander Holtz jersey when he wore 26, then he went to 11, now he's with 10. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm sticking with 26, so they'll think it's a Dow jersey with a Holtz nameplate.
Yeah.
No, ours. I don't think I could fit in my season 1 jersey anymore. I've gained too much beer weight at T-Mobile drinking during the games, because when I got that one 10 years ago, man, it was baggy. It felt nice. Now I put it on, I'm going, oh shit, they need to be stretch marks on this thing. But
hey, perks of getting older, eh?
Oh yeah, those were our first jerseys, because I mean, think about that. Honestly, most of those players got here 10 years ago. Unless you were a diehard, dyed in the wool of major hockey, I would guarantee that about 80% of people that follow hockey had no idea who most of those players even were. You know what I mean? It's even like hockey prospects. Most people, when you watch the draft, the only reason you know about the first 5 to 10 players is because they have been mentioned since they were 12 years old. And like, these kids are going to be number 1 draft picker up there. But after that, you start getting these players that are in the middle of some little Slovakian town you've never heard of. And you're like, yeah, that's my player now. And you're like, dude, you don't even know if you'll know him or see him. It's not like college basketball or football where these players are coming up and going to be studs. So that first year of the draft, nobody knew who Marc-Andre Fleury was. Everybody knew who Mark was. Very few people knew who maybe James Neal was, because he had a good year with Nashville the year before. But going back out of that, I mean, unless you lived in Florida, that's the only reason you knew about Marchus. He was really not a very well-known or popular player. He had a couple good years, but he wasn't very well-known or popular unless you were a diehard with the league. And then you start digging down the line. I mean, Alex Tuck was a prospect nobody really knew much about. Carlson was a 6-goal scorer, his career high ever. So all these people are like, you're a gift to the team. Shut up. You're a moron.
No, that's the thing too. And here's the funny thing about that too, is that people say that all the time, yet they don't look at like the Seattle Kraken, who had the same expansion draft rules.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically said, hey, we're going to draft and develop the right way. Yeah. And they made 1 playoff appearance, which isn't bad, but they haven't really done anything else compared to the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are on a cutthroat sort of mindset where, hey, we want to get better here, We're going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that's a good thing to have, believe it or not.
Well, what's funny about that is when that draft first happened, and I was talking to a lot of people, and I told them, I said, the way it looks like they were built was they were doing it the money puck style. They were taking players that had contracts that were going to be attractive to other teams, but added so much weighted value. And so if you look at those teams, they drafted for the Golden Knights, they drafted with a certain amount of value in mind for each one to fill out the roster with the hopes of they were going to be flipping them. And when all of a sudden they realized that a lot of those players on that low value, high impact scores were like outliving their hype. I mean, let's face it, most of those players were actually out of the league within the next 2 years. So they had career years and played out of their minds, which is amazing to be a part of it. And so doing it as the whole money puck way, where they were just trying to see what they could stockpile in the 3 to 6 year range that Bill Foley had said, all of a sudden it moved it up pretty quick. And before you know it, you're going, oh shit, half of these players are going to play and stay. And then you had people, like Jason Garrison and like Lucas Sabis. Sabis at least played the whole year. Jason Garrison was 7 or 10 games and was gone. And there's a handful of others when you start looking back, when people go, yeah, you guys got all this player and this player. I'm like, yeah. What did they do after they were here? Before they were here? Nothing. They were gone within like 2 years. So, and even have 6 of the originals for the final was still pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Because even think about that, Shea Theodore did not start the year with the Golden Knights. He played with the Chicago Wolves because I think he was coming off of rehab. I think he was hurt at first. Yeah. So he didn't actually technically start in, the very first of the year. It took him a little bit before he was finally healthy enough to be in there. And for, him, and then of course Carrier and Riley Smith and Jonathan Marchessault and McNabb. It was pretty cool to be there on Game 5 when they announced those 6 or 5 of them were in the starting lineup. The only one that didn't get to be in the starting lineup was Carrier. And that's because you can't have 4 forwards. I mean, I guess they could have put him in the goal and made Aiden Hill stand on the bench for a minute and then hurry over. But
it would work just fine either way.
Oh yeah, no, that game was amazing. I've never heard T-Mobile so loud in my life that night. That was just such an amazing time to listen to how loud people could be in there. Holy cow! And that was not even with the music. That was just thunderous, loud screams and yells every time. All 9 times that the goal horn went off that night was pretty crazy.
And I was outside at T-Mobile Arena at the watch party at Toshiba Plaza. I can't tell you how packed it was. It was so you could barely move and get through anybody. Like if you had a friend, you would easily lose them. But of course, you also made new friends along the way.
Oh, yeah. So everybody was there just having a good time. So we did take a picture from there. So I have a picture somewhere on my Twitter account or Facebook page where it shows that whole crowd out there, just how deep it was while we were inside. And we're just like, holy cow, that's a lot of people. But it's a real testament to Las Vegas and the fans, because there was a couple things during that 2023 run, and even nowadays, you don't see a whole lot of fights inside T-Mobile at the arena. You don't see a whole lot of fights out on Toshiba. You see every once in a while, you see people like screw you too, whatever, but it's not, you don't see like the Oiler fan base where they're squaring up, beating the shit out of each other. And even with the parade, when they estimated there was about 300,000 people that was from on the strip all the way down into Toshiba, because they had that whole area blocked off, and it was wall-to-wall people, period. I mean, it was just crazy to how many people were there. There was, from all the reports I had, there was one fight that happened, and it wasn't even a fight. It was a guy that decided to swing on a fireman or something. And the fireman was off duty, but there were other firefighters in there and police officers that knew him, that knew he was a first responder. So something happened that they bumped into each other or whatever. And the one dude was a little drunk and took a swing at the guy, and that didn't end well for him, because as you know, in Vegas, there's cameras everywhere, and it doesn't take too long for you to go down. Vegas doesn't play. But if you remember right, there was no vandalism. There was really no violence. I mean, we didn't have cop cars overturned. We didn't have casino windows busted out. We didn't have stores looted. And so when you see this at a lot of these other places, people are like, Vegas is a shithole. Not really, dude. The tourists may do some bad things, but the locals, man, we take care of our city, which is pretty cool to see that things didn't happen. I thought there would be issues down there, but there was none.
Yeah, I was blown away too, and just Las Vegas as a city really swept me off my feet, because when I was actually out on a trip to Las Vegas. I stayed at New York with my dad, September 30th to October 1st of the first season. I loved it. It was like, the Golden Knights, hey, this might actually be a cool thing to have happen. It's like the Golden Knights are playing here. this might actually be fun.
Oh yeah.
And then when I got back on October 1st, I had one of my coworkers ask me, like, "Hey, are you okay? I'm glad you're okay." I'm like, "Well, what happened? Well, you didn't hear the news. It was a mass shooting."
Yeah.
And just the aftermath afterwards of what the Golden Knights, first of all, it brought a whole new perspective of life. And like, oh my gosh, like you have one life. Like you said earlier, you're going to die eventually, but take care of it and do what you can with it.
Exactly.
But it's also looking at how the Golden Knights helped this community out during that trying time. It really sold me on Las Vegas as a city. Like, this is a community that they care about their people. They will bring you in regardless of where you come from, whether it's California, New York.
Oh yeah.
You name it.
That was a weird time. We were actually on the road that weekend doing comedy, and the weird part is we were listening to the Harvest Fest on satellite radio because Sirius XM carried it. So we listened to it, and I'm like, and I was telling my wife, like, hey, that might be kind of cool. We get home because I did a show Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night in Salt Lake, and then we were coming home Sunday when it happened, and we were listening on the radio. I'm like, hey, that might be kind of cool. We can, we don't even have to get into the concert. We can just go down in the area and kind of hang out and probably hear it because it's out there, But luckily for us, we got home and fell asleep on the couch and woke up to a ton of emails, phone calls.
Yeah.
All that good stuff, So, yeah, just everybody checking like, hey, you guys all right? What's going on? Because, they knew we work in entertainment and we're around things. We did have a friend that was actually in there. And if you want to hear, okay, this is going to be a funny joke. So it's kind of morbid, but funny. So
I'm all ears.
He was in there with it was his girlfriend at the time, and then she became his wife. Yeah, so the shooting was in there. They were in the middle of it, and they started running out. They got out of it. Everything was fine. They say they got saved. Everything was fine. And then I always tell you, his girlfriend / wife, they got in an argument one time, and she got too drunk and was yelling at him, told him get out of the house. And so he ends up leaving. He's like, fine, I'll go somewhere else. And as he's leaving, she's out there, and she shot him in the leg with a 22. And luckily it didn't hurt him too bad. I mean, it did a little bit of damage. He had to go get it removed, whatever. And since, he didn't press charges against her, but he's calling me and telling me this, and I started laughing, and I'm like, dude, you survived one of the biggest mass shootings in history of the United States, and you can't even survive a nut job. You're married. And he was kind of laughing about it too. He goes, that's why I called you, because I wanted to laugh about something. I knew you'd come up. But I could not believe that she did that. You know what I mean? I was just like, holy shit. I'm like, dude, you survived that shooting. And I was sitting there I go, this is going to be like Final Destination, man. It's coming for you, dude.
Yeah, some weird stuff is going to come down towards him eventually.
Oh my God. It was so weird. It was about a year later or something that happened, and I was just kind of like, wow. But yeah, they got divorced and annulled everything out. And yeah, lucky for him. And then he left her here in Las Vegas and moved back to Utah, where he's from, where I'm from. So it's just
smart move
him,
just to get away from her. Smart move. So, oh my gosh. On that note of crazies, if you want to go to the latest article, VegasHockeyNight.com. That's where you can get all the Golden Knights news, rumors, and opinions. We do have an article for the biggest villain. And I know it's for fan side and Minute Media. It is Villain Week. And we are talking about today Evander Kane. So if you know a little bit about Evander Kane, he's the guy who infamously blew the kiss. And the Golden Knights fan behind the glass is flipping him off. She is absolutely PO.
I remember that.
I remember that too. That was a really intense series between the Oilers and the Golden Knights. I love that rivalry so much. And it's McDavid versus Eichel. It's two of the premier teams in the Pacific Division. And of course, the top it all off, the cherry on top, is Evander Kane being Evander Kane and being a pest.
Oh yeah. And he was already with the Sharks and everything else, to where, yeah, and all of a sudden he is with another rival of ours, which the Sharks were a huge rival, and now they really aren't, but they probably will be within the next year or two again. So yeah, it was kind of weird that he went from one rival right to another one. And weird part is, as a player, he is a pretty good player. He was. I mean, he's aging out now. That's kind of the problem. I think a lot of his personal issues, I think, are probably setting him back more with dealing with, his estranged or ex-wife. We were talking earlier. The damage she did to him is going to be irreparable. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not an angel by any means. And when he left his unpaid markers at, I think it was the Cosmo. So when that first hit the news, they happened to be playing. I think he was still with the Sharks. He was playing with them, and they came back. They came to T-Mobile, and every time he touched the puck that night, the whole arena started yelling, "Pay your markers!" Clap, clap, clap. And
I mean,
it was the funniest shit because the whole arena just started doing it at the same time. The VGK Twitter is not as strong then as it is now, where people would tell you, "Hey, during this time, we're all going to chant this or whatever." No, it was hit or miss when you found, good VGK tweets, because a lot of us didn't really know each other then. But it was just the funniest shit. Pay your marker, pay your and it kept going. So,
and that's the beautiful thing about hockey too, is that you got passionate fans everywhere. And like, I went to Dallas and they were really into it too, which is surprising because it's Texas. You would figure they care more about football from high school to the NFL, but they also were into hockey, which is like,
right.
wow.
Oh yeah. Dallas got a pretty good jump start. I mean, similar to Avalanche fans, our fans, and Dallas all got a pretty good jump start. When the Minnesota North Stars moved to Dallas, it was 2 or 3 years later, if less than that maybe, but they won the Stanley Cup. And so their fans really had something to be like, "Oh my God, they're winning." You know what I mean? They're our team. So they kind of embedded themselves in. The Colorado Avalanche, as soon as they moved from Quebec, they were moving there with an all-star team. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden you pick up Patrick Waugh, and they go on and win the cup in the first year in Colorado. And that's what's funny is they're like, "Well, Colorado won it in their first year." Oh, shut up. It's an established team from Quebec. It's relocated. Knock it off. It's not the same as the Golden Knights being built from the ground up. And it's even the same as is the people that are the Mammoth fans now. Same thing. Well, we're an expansion team. Yes and no. It's listed as an expansion team because they were able to buy all the players. Come on, man. That's like Bill Foley going over and going, "Hey, I'm going to buy the Colorado Avalanche and move them to Reno, and they're going to be the Reno Avalanche and the Reno Gold or something." You know what I mean? And we're gonna get rid of all the Colorado history. So now you're an expansion team. Also, you go, "Wow, this team's gonna win the President's Cup in their first year." The President's Trophy. And it's like, shut up. Come on, we know, dude. Stop.
Yeah, we know exactly.
Yeah.
People will come up with the craziest ideas like that. But I did love the back and forth banter between Golden Knights fans and Utah fans during the first round of this year. It was something else. A lot of fans were getting into it, especially on VGK Twitter, whatever Elon Musk.
It's going to be Twitter to me. I don't care what Elon names it. It's Twitter to me. That's funny though, is because a lot of Utah fans became Golden Knights fans. They were split between Colorado and Las Vegas because you sit right in the middle of Denver and Las Vegas. So you get a lot of Colorado sports in Salt Lake if you didn't have a team, like for sure, like football. Denver Broncos are broadcasting to Salt Lake constantly. They get them, the 49ers, the Cowboys constantly in that market, no matter what. And then the Golden Knights had that market as theirs. And so you had a lot of fans that were Golden Knights fans. Some of them still became fans of the Golden Knights, and then others like, "Oh, I'm not a fan of them anymore. All of a sudden, I'm this team's fan." Okay, cool. You can go be a fan of it. I wish the Utah Mammoth well. I mean, that's where me and my wife are from. That's where we grew up. I wish them well for the most part. I don't want to see them win. After the Mammoth fans pissed me off so bad during the playoffs with a lot of them. Some of them are my friends. We would bullshit back and forth, but a lot of the other ones you'd come across online were they're what I like to call bleed over Jazz fans. And which the unfortunate part is some of the Utah Jazz fans are known as some of the worst fans in the NBA. And they really are. Some of them are unbearable to what they are. They expect the world of everything. And they've been that way for a long time. I never really was a Jazz fan. I grew up being a Lakers fan because Magic Johnson was my favorite player. Seeing where I'm from, though, having the teams win, it's always cool. I'm still going to be a University of Utah football fan forever.
Oh, he's
I'll always be their fan, no matter what. But yeah, some of them just started getting into it so bad with any of us with VGK, and you're just kind of like in the arena with us, and we're like, dude, shut the fuck up already. It's like, what is wrong with you? And it got old. But the funniest thing during that playoff streak was, if you remember, the crowd started yelling, "Utah sucks."
Yes, I remember that. I was at game 1 and they were chanting that because there was a whole contingency right in front of the glass. So it was entirely of Utah Mammoth, and they were loud and obnoxious.
Oh,
So,
nice. Yeah, where we were sitting, so we sit in 212 and all the way over to like 218. The entire area up there just started yelling it, and it was loud in the arena, and it was funny as hell because I actually recorded it and send it to people that I'm friends with in Utah. And they're like, "What the hell are they doing that, dude?" I'm like, "Because the fans in here are being obnoxious as hell right now." And so, most of them, some of the ones I talked to after the game, they're like, "I can't believe Vegas fans would act like that." I'm like, "Did you see how a lot of your fans are acting?" I'm like, "Come on, man. Most of us have fun. We don't care." I mean, I thought it was kind of funny, actually. I just thought it was hilarious. But yeah, some of the ones that were on Twitter, man, some of those guys they went way too far about how bad they were trying to rival Oiler fans about Vegas and everything else. And it just kind of makes me laugh. I'm like, wait a sec, here's a picture of you in a Vegas jersey. What are you talking about? Now all of a sudden, really? Were we the ex that broke up with you and now you hate us because you can't have us anymore? Come on, man. What's wrong with you? So,
and the funny thing with that too is that Oiler fans, there are some Oiler fans that are good, but you get a lot of the other ones that are just extremely obnoxious. And yet at the same time, I'm thinking like, wow, like their Utah fans could give Edmonton a run for its money, like legitimately.
Oh, they definitely could. And it's funny though, like most people you come across with in the arenas, most of them are cool as can be. I mean, I sat and made fun of Oiler fans one night, even the night of the Oilers kicked the shit out of us. We were walking down the elevators or the escalators, I mean, on the way down to the foyer to get out of Toshiba Plaza. And it was funny because the Oiler fans were just loud as could be about "Let's go Oilers," and I'm just sitting there. I'm kind of like laughing, and one guy said something to me, and I started laughing. I go, "It's been a long time since you guys have won a cup," and then he started saying something else, and I'm like, "Dude, you guys haven't won the Pacific Division since 1990 or something. Shut up!" And he's like, "Wait, what? You haven't won a cup since 93 or 92 or something like that, or whenever it was. I think it was 92." And I go, "But you haven't even won a division since like 1990. And I started messing with all of them. And all of a sudden, the whole group of Oiler fans with me kind of stopped and goes, "Damn it, I thought Vegas fans were supposed to be dumb." But we had a beer with them, just bullshit with them. I go, "Yeah, it was, most of them are pretty cool people. It's just when you get online with some of them, holy cow." So, but, I think the worst fans, honestly, that we've ever came across in our arena were Dallas Stars fans. And the reason, the bad thing with that is because we sit right behind what's now called the Tower Club. It used to be Hyde. That's right above where our section is. We were down there, so we were taking the lead in game 2 when we were on the Western Conference Finals against them. But one of the goals got scored, and there was a group of Dallas Stars fans right above us. And right as like our section stood up to cheer, 3 or 4 beers got dumped on our whole section and soaked the people. And it took me a matter of about 3 seconds to jump out of my seat and run all the way up to Hyde to grab a hold of Tommy. And and I had beer on me too. And he's like, he knew I was mad because usually I'm smiling, laughing, having fun. He's like, "Dude, you all right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm pissed off." And I told him. He goes, "Where do you guys sit?" And I told him. He goes, "All right." He goes, "Go ahead, go back to your seat. Give me a few minutes." And he went over and looked at the video, and he watched all of them just come out and just start throwing beer over top from up there. They ejected the entire party out of 2 full sections up there and still charged their credit card. They were only like through the first period of the game. Yeah, they all got booted, charged all their minimums, everything else, and got thrown out of the game. It was pretty damn funny, actually, because then you look back, there was just empty. And so, yeah, when I talked to him later that day, and he goes, "I went through and looked at the film." He goes, "It was not that hard to see all of them that were doing it." So he goes, "We just threw the entire party out, not just people that did it. The entire party got thrown out."
So, yeah, exactly. Leave no trace. Get them out.
I was like, good, because there was no reason to do what they did, you know? And all of us just stood up and cheered, and even Dallas Stars fans that were by us got soaked with beer too. And they're like, what the hell? I'm like, it's your own people, dude. So, but yeah, they got so, but it happens. Yeah, that was probably the worst ones. You know what I mean? The one that's still my favorite is the lady that got in a fight with the Oiler fans in and that's on my Twitter. I tweeted that video out of when she took her leg off and started smacking that lady in the head with her prosthetic leg. And I guess what happened, from what I understood, is it was women fighting women, is what it was. And one of them had spilled a beer on the people in front of them, and then they turned around and started arguing. And then somebody spit on someone, and then off came the leg. And it was pretty interesting and pretty funny, man. You're just like, of all the things, So
things you see at a hockey game, you see a lady beating up somebody with a prosthetic. Who would have thought?
You don't see that, man. A lady wearing the Mexico jersey. She fills that jersey out really nice. She could come and run around our arena all day long if she wanted to.
We don't discriminate around here. So that's
not at all, man. We're in the Southwest. We were part of Mexico anyway. Join the crowd. Come on.
Exactly. Did I ever tell you about the experience I had in Los Angeles as a Golden Knight fan? So I was in LA it was before Christmas, like 3 days before Christmas. I was just chilling in, just watching the Golden Knights take on the Kings. And there was this group of like 6 teenagers, and they're wasted out of their mind. And they sit right behind me. And one chick is like so hammered and just whipping her hair in my face. And she is just screaming like, fuck Vegas. And she's just like, literally like, what is that circle for? And it's like, I slept with a hockey player once. I look over at one of the ushers. I'm like, help me, please. I want to kick these kids out because I'm going to strangle one of them. It was such an insufferable experience. And I kind of learned, like, hey, I'm probably going to have to go as a neutral party next time if I want to go to LA for hockey games.
Well, that's fun. We went to, actually, coincidentally, I've got this ticket stub right here in my drawer. There you go, April of 2019. So, Kings in Vegas. So that was our final game of the year. A bunch of us went down there, and about over half the arena was Golden Knights fans. It was the time when the Kings were not going to be making it to the playoffs. And we were all there having fun. We lost. It is what it is. We know we're going to the playoffs, no big deal. As we're walking out, one of the guys sitting there going, yeah, Vegas sucks. Fuck you guys, this and that. And I just go, dude, we're in the playoffs. You're not. He just kind of I'm like, who gives a shit? I go, you guys got 2 extra points that mean absolutely nothing. You know that, right?
Exactly.
And all of his friends started looking at him, making fun of him. Like, yeah, dude, he got you. Shut up. It's just like, we're going, dude. I'm like, who cares?
Who cares? Exactly.
And I'm like, so weird when people get so upset about that, man. They want to start throwing hands and everything. I'm like, it's the same thing as the dude that just happened at Wrigley Field the other day, where there was an older guy that decided to slap the dude in the back of the head, which, reading some of the comments, that has to be the guy's grandpa or something, because there's no way that doesn't happen without some kind of resistance coming back at him. You know what I mean? Because if first off, I stand for the national anthem, always have, always will. It's just, it's part of me. It is what I am. Do I understand why other people don't or won't? I get it. Love more? Not really. I think they should stand, but it is their right. And that's why we have military that, helps fight to keep our right. But so, you got to weigh your options. But if someone does decide to sit down, we've seen it in T-Mobile before. You just kind of look at something like, it is what it is. You don't know the reason why. Maybe that person had surgery on their knee or their back, or it hurts to get up and down. Sometimes, it happens. You don't know the situation. It doesn't mean that the person's anti-American or hates the world. You have no idea. Maybe the person's deaf and does not realize what's going on. There's a lot of things that could happen. But for that guy to reach up there and slap him in the back of the head like that, and I'm just kind of watching it like that old dude probably would have had some, at least a bloody nose or something. He would have. It's just, you don't lay hands on people like that. That's not really truly the American way. You beat patriotism into someone. We always stand, and I mean, me and my wife sing it and everything else too. That's part of us. But as if someone's sitting down, I'm not going to reach up and slap them or yell at them. Hey, you need to stand up, man. You got to be one of us. But who knows?
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, wow, that's really brazen of him, and I probably would have just tried to fight right back. So you don't do that to people. You got to be careful with who you pick fights with, because there's always going to be somebody that's not going to care. They're just going to knock you the hell out.
Oh yeah. Oh, my favorite's always the ones where people don't realize, somebody may look like, oh, this person doesn't look like they can fight. You have no idea. I mean, look at perfect example. Look at Sophie Cunningham. You look at her; she's a beautiful girl. She's not the greatest basketball player in the world, but she's good enough to play professional in her sport, make money, and she's got a personality everybody likes. Funny thing is, you look at her, you think, oh, she's some hot chick. She ain't gonna do anything. She's a fucking black belt in karate. So when you look at someone, you have no idea what that person's capable of. It makes me laugh when you see like the smaller person, some dude's bigger and wants to pick on him, and then just all of a sudden, big boy goes down and little one's just like, huh, I told you not to mess with me, man. It's like Ted said, stop it. The young punk though in Dallas a few years ago, they kept up in racial terms and calling that older white guy the racial terms, and the guy's like kind of shaking his head like stop it, and then he did it again, and that old boy had a fist the size of a meat club and clocked that dude out.
Yeah. The funny thing was he was on TV too. He had a mullet. He just whipped it right back. It was such a good shot. I mean, you realize, oh my God, this guy's going to get knocked the hell out.
Oh, I watched that thing on replay. I thought it was hilarious. I just put it on a loop and just kept watching it over and over and over. It was so funny. Like, damn. Yep. Say it again, dude. Boom. It's kind of like
I was going to say, you have Chris Tucker narrating that and all that.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. Or like when that guy that looked just like that kid that was freaking out in the convenience store, and the dude was standing behind him. He had that hard iced tea, that Mike's hard iced tea or whatever.
Yes.
And he told the dude, he goes, don't bump into me or don't say that again. And the dude turned around and pushed him and said it. And man, he clocked him with that thing and out cold he went. And I'm just like, people are stupid. Just if someone says, please don't, you probably should stop. Just let it go. And hey, if that didn't happen though, we wouldn't be getting all these viral videos and having a good time,
Exactly. So, Steve, do you mind plugging your comedy show for the people?
I mean, anybody can follow me online, Twitter, Instagram, any of that stuff. Everything on there is like Steve M Comedy. I don't advertise when I pop up and do on different shows. And a lot of those shows, I'd rather tell people to let the tourists pay for it. So if you're local in Las Vegas, come out on the third Saturdays to Big Dogs and hang out and have a drink. We start at 9:06 p.m. sharp. And generally there is very few seats, if any, available by the time people get there. So people start getting there around 8:30 or so. But order your drinks, food, and have a good time. If you've never been to Big Dogs, it's up on Rancho in the Northwest by Santa Fe Station. It's a good brewery, man. Good food. And when you're done, you can stay and gamble if you want. But we're in the showroom where it's a good place, man. We have fun there. So
I've been telling people before, it's always a good time. The comedians are funny. The food is great. Everybody just has a blast, and it's always worth going.
Yeah, come out and enjoy and have some fun, man. So anyways, good to talk to you, Jacob.
So thank you for coming on today, Steve. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your time. Next season coming up, and hopefully we come and just win the Stanley Cup for a second time.
We're supposed to have 3 and 10, so the team has to win 2 this next year. So that means we're going to win the President's Trophy, break that curse, and win the cup. We're going to win something we've never done before and win a second cup. So there you go.
Go for it. That's what I say.
Right on, dude. Have fun. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.